Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals. And in continuation of our special series for Jurassic World Rebirth, this is the tutorial on our Lego custom Mutadon from Jurassic World Rebirth.
So initially that was my Mutadon, and that was the first version that I did, and back then there aren't a lot of videos or video clips of the Mutadon and trailers, and that was mostly speculation of how it would look like, the coloration, etc. But eventually, when there were more trailers that were released, I realized that my Mutadon wasn't that exciting as I wanted it to be. Although when I was doing it, I was quite excited actually. But I figured I really had to make another one which is more to my liking if I am going to release it on this channel. So anyway, so here is the reversion of the Mutadon that I have. You can see that I have modified the legs for it to have a specific, configuration to it. This one has some articulation here on the on this part, like so that since it has retractable, it would have retractable claws on the first claw here, so it won't bang out on each other. So it would have that specific stance if you want it, and then of course I had to have articulation on the tail as well. I think the other one doesn't have one. It still has two studs on the back. The arms here would have a different articulation to it. It has this motion that it can create aside from back and forth. It also has this you can open and close its armpits or its arms, like so it would likely have a flight position probably. And then of course the head here would have a ball and socket joint, and of course we still have the usual jaw articulation on the Mutadon. And similar to what I did for my Quetzalcoatlus, it would have an attachable wing, like so that you can have it folded, or you could also have it spread out, like so. It's hard to imagine without the wings yet, but you figure the figure for my Quetzalcoatlus is similar to that, so please check it out guys, my video on the Quetzalcoatlus. So I'm going to do a quick sculpt on this one, and then we're going to go back and repaint this one. And here is how it looks like after we have added the wing flaps over here. As you can see here, another piece here which would be separate from this piece. You can see also that it can be redirected into a different angle to it. I also added an extension to the head, putting in the beak on the Mutadon. I also added in the claws on the sickle claws on the first digit of our Mutadon, as you can see here. So all we have to do now is sculpt on this figure, sculpt over it, put in some details, and we'll head up to painting. So I finished sculpting on the new Mutadon, and you can see here that we filled it up, the spaces here on the back, on the tail, on the arms, neck, and also made a small beak for our Mutadon over here. And I just like to probably show to you guys a previous Mutadon that I did, which is also based from the earlier sketch that I did for Mutadon, and here it is. So it seems that there are differences between both of the what do you call this, mutadons. This one didn't have a chest, bulking here on chest here. Also, it lacks a little bit of height in terms of the what do you call this, the back. It should be hunched a little bit more, and of course the head here seems to be more tilted upwards than the position here on the neck. So we'll probably also gonna make some changes to this as well, so that at least I have 2 mutadons with me. So for the last of the details, we added in the scoots on the back of our mutadon, as well as added in some, I don't know what those are. Those could be fangs on the mutadon, so I added those before we start painting on the figure. So we have our mutadon already primered with white, because technically the base color of the mutadon is white, so we had that all in white. And besides, we're going to use some red, orange also on the counter side of the wings, so that is why we have that. And then so we're ready to paint this one. So we'll be using different sizes of brushes over here. Yes, some acrylics. We have here a permanent pen, some water, and of course our handy dandy hair dryer, so we can hasten up the process. So let's start out.
And here are the winners of our Guesses PC contest. We have 10 lucky picks. Here they are: Aiden Stevenson, Alpha Tyrannosaurus Rex, Arisu A60, Nightmare M2C, Swollen Dragon, Jurassic Tex 30, Lazy Custom, Gen Pie Life, Cat 2, Ellie Collins. Congratulations everyone, and of our top 10 winners:
Top 10,
Jurassic Gamer,
Top 9,
Paleo Brick,
Top 8,
Aliza Jane,
Top 7,
M Rotten Fresh Fries,
Top 6,
TT Boom Gamer,
Top 5,
Bobby Bob,
Top 4,
Barry Edison,
Top 3,
Electro Raptor Studios,
Top 2,
Aris Zapata,
and Top 1.
and Colton Todd. Congratulations everyone, and for those of you who'd like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon. It will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. In the homepage, just click on the community link to see all our posts.
So the first color would be this mixture of gray, white, some yellow ochre, and we're going to paint this on basically the entire figure. And it's just going to be a light paint on it, because we have already primered everything with white already. So whatever the brush touches, that should be fine already. And so the next color would be this dark blue green color, and we're going to nail this down on the areas of the back of the mutadon, and some areas of the face, as well as that of the body and the tail, and even the wings as well. So we're just carefully applying this on most of the back for now, but later on we're going to do specific, I would say, detailing on the bottom half, or the second half of the creature. So for now we're going to do one coat on the back, and then later on we're going to have the rest of the colors in detail using a smaller brush, smaller than what I'm actually using at the moment, like so. So here I am putting in the larger stripes on the figure. So I actually watered down the paint a little bit, so that it would at least flow very freely onto the surface of the toy, like you can see here. So just going to adjust the painter a little bit, and I also made some stripes also, which are bigger stripes in advance here on the other side, and we're just going to do that here on the other side as well. So let's just do a bit of a sample here. So again, water down some of the paint and then directly apply on the figure. So I want the overall effect to be more or less very organic. So I'm not doing any specific counting the number of stripes or something like that. We just wanted everything to look very natural, but as much as possible we try to somehow look into the other side as well, so that somehow it would look a bit, I would say, symmetrical to the other side, so that one side here would have more or less the same thickness of stripes as that of the other. So we're putting in more of the details on our figure. So again, we have watered down the paint a little bit so that it would flow freely onto the body, but this time we're putting in some vertical stripes on our Mutadon over here, and this is where actually you can hide some of the errors that you've had in your sculpt. Like for example, there are imperfections here which you can dwell on and look, paint over it on a darker scale, and then create another line so that somehow it hides the imperfection on our Mutadon. So we're going to do this until everything is covered from here, base of the neck going towards the tail as well. So we mixed here a wash of the lighter blues that we had on earlier, and we're going to use this as our paint to mark out some of the details on our wings. So I'm actually doing a very light hand on everything because I don't want everything to be messed up. It's easy to mess up with washes, to be honest, because sometimes it's going to sip over everything, and we don't want that. We just want everything to be applied lightly and let the details come in as we go. So something like this, and we're going to apply that on the other side as well, and on the other wing membrane. And the next step would be for us to color the insides of the mouth, and this is just a combination of pink and red orange, and we're slowly painting in the insides of the mouth as I've mentioned. So I'm being very careful not to paint on, so as I was talking, I actually painted on the outside. So be careful not to paint on the outside because it's white, and sometimes if you paint on something as colorful as this one, it might not come off and you have to recolor the entire face again. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so here we have a combination of red. I think this is brilliant red and a little bit of orange. And using this wash, we're going to trace out some of the details on the wings of our Mutadon. So we're putting in different techniques, like putting in some speckles here and there, and also letting the paint just make its course, very similar to how you actually apply a watercolor on a piece of canvas. So we're also going to do the same on the details on the feather, on the wing membrane. So the Mutadon's wing, as it goes towards the end, actually has more red coloration to it. So here I'm just letting the wash bleed over the entire thing, and then later on here on the latter half would be the same details, or the amount of details that I'm actually putting on, similar to what I did here on the other end. Like so. And we're also going to do this on the other side of the wing. So initially I actually planned to paint the scales on the toes or on the legs with the same blue that we have, but I remember that in the movie, or in the movie trailer rather, the feet were actually mistaken for the velociraptor of the film, and the velociraptor actually had gray scales on the legs. So that is why we're actually doing a gray scaling on the legs on our Mutadon instead. And I think it looks good. So especially when the claws are actually painted already black. And for the last of the details, we're going to paint the claws or the nails of our Mutadon with this jet black color. Now we're going to put on some gloss on it later on when it dries, but look at it, it just made everything so alive and tied up with the figure. And of course we're going to put on other details, of course, on the figure, such as putting on the eye details, as well as the painting on the teeth. But other than that, I think the tutorial on this particular video is completed. And I wish and also hope that you enjoyed this particular video of mine. Oops, we're off the camera, or we're off the screen. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this particular video. If you happen to like it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and also consider sharing it with your friends, guys. Also, please do not forget to support our other channels, Ibito Universe, The Adventures of Myra and Usher, and Tito Mike's Kitchen. Please watch their videos and support our channel by subscribing, guys. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brick roar! Thanks everyone, and bye for now. I'll see you in part 2.